Welcome back to Sleepy Hollow this week.
So today I've gone on the internet and I have found some of the most bizarre different types of game shows that are out there. Now,
game shows can get weird in general.
A lot of these are Japanese, okay?
Like the ones you see on TV that they're talking really fast, you don't understand what's going on.
The Japanese have some really weird game shows. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different ones.
Jeez, that's a lot of game shows.
Of the 8, 3 I made up on my own.
3 you made up.
3. So
we might have $1 million idea there.
You are going to have to tell me which of these 3 different game shows I've made up.
Out of the 8, I have to see which 3 are fake.
Out of the 8, I will give you a description and no more than what's in this description will I tell you, because the ones I made up, if I didn't have, and I just looked these up, I didn't go too exhaustive in my research.
You didn't put in too much
research. So I can't answer all the questions. But today, we're going to talk about game shows.
Game shows. I feel like, okay, we're on a game show now.
Game show number 1, AK Bingo. A Japanese game show that is basically Fear Factor on some crazy steroids. Contestants play a ton of different games, in one of which contestants put their mouth on the end of a glass tube and blow in it. The catch is, inside this tube, there's a cockroach. The goal is to have your lung strength be stronger than your opponent's and blow the cockroach into their mouth. Is this true?
This is true. I've watched Fear Factor. They eat bugs.
They eat a lot of bugs. That's why I wouldn't be on the show.
I've seen them eat brain before. So I'm going to go with this is a real game show. This is true.
This game show is actually true. In Japan, they have singers. A singing group actually started this game show, and they have a tube.
Singing group?
Yep, exactly.
So they practice like their lungs
or
something?
So really? They have a tube from like you to me away, a glass tube in it. We put our mouth on each end.
With one cockroach.
There's a cockroach in there. It's dead. So
either way, that's gross.
It is
a bug in their mouth. Seriously.
And the goal is to blow harder than them, so it forces the bug into their mouth.
Oh. That would be disgusting.
So you're 1 for 1. We are now on to Game Show 2. Game Show 2 is Toray. On the Japanese game show Toray, contestants compete in a plethora of challenges. Some of these games seem like something out of a horror movie. One challenge involves contestants having to answer questions to test their skill while they are being wrapped up like a mummy. If they don't get the answers correct and are fully wrapped up like a mummy, they are pushed backwards into a sarcophagus and locked in.
What is a sarcophagus?
A sarcophagus is an Egyptian casket.
Like the tombs that
like
kings
the one,
are buried in?
Like the one you see their face and their arms like that.
Okay.
And they put a sarcophagus inside of a sarcophagus. And you try to say that 10 times fast. That would be hard. But it's like Russian nesting dolls with Egyptian people.
Okay. And they get pushed back into it if they don't answer the questions right. And the game's called Toray.
Toray, I think.
Not Toro.
Toray with explanation point. I don't know how you would pronounce it in Japanese or...
See, but this is my problem. What Toray sounds like a Spanish word.
It does.
And then we're talking about pushing people into Egyptian tombs.
It's a diverse game.
But at the same time, some of those shows, you'd never believe what they do. So I'm going to go with false.
You're saying false on Toray?
Yes.
Toray is actually a real-life game.
Oh my gosh.
As you answer questions from... I watched a video on it, on what they do. You stand just alone, and they show questions, and then people wrap you up like a mummy like this, and once it gets to your head and your head's wrapped, you get thrown back into a sarcophagus and locked in.
That sounds terrible. Do they get out, or are they just buried alive?
Oh, no, they get out, but it's just for the show.
Did you see?
If you think that's terrible, you're going to love this next one.
1 for 2.
Mock-up Mafia. In this Chinese-based game show, 3 contestants are chosen at random to come up to the stage and pick 2 different cards at random from the host. One of the cards contains a worldwide destination and the other contains an airport in China. The goal of this show is to see which contestant can get the closest to their destination. The trick of this show is that the contestants have 20 minutes to pack their bag with 1 kilo of cocaine. If they get caught, they face criminal charges. Of all the contestants to participate, only 4 have succeeded. They won 1 million yen each.
So they give them a kilo of cocaine
to hide in their luggage. Now, some of these games, along lower in the list too, you're going to see these ran for like a year because they're semi-illegal. There's one I didn't put on the list. It's like, we're going to talk about that in a couple weeks in a different episode. But it's a little sketchy, so...
Smuggling cocaine onto a plane is what I'm getting at here.
That's what this game show called Mock-Up Mafia is all about. English translations, there's no way I could read Chinese.
There's just... That's highly illegal on very many levels.
It is.
So I'm having a hard time believing this. But at the same time, I've seen a show where they steal $100,000 in a briefcase and go hide it. And if the other person finds it, they get to keep it.
Exactly. The game shows push the limits of morality and the law.
I'm going to go with true.
You're going to go with true? Actually, I made that one
my God.
I made up Mock-Up Mafia.
But that one was a lot more believable than getting... How many cultures were getting crossed in the last one?
I know. Mock-Up Mafia. I came up with this idea. I've watched a show where they take and they follow TSA agents in the airport and see like how people have tried to sneak drugs in. I'm like, man, you can make a game show like that.
See
if
that's why it was
stuff
believable.
Kilo in it. See?
Why not?
All right, we're on to our next one. This one is called Wall of Boxes. Contestants are faced with moving foam walls with different shapes cut out of them, and they're coming at them at an increasingly fast pace. They have to contort their body to fit through these holes.
True. I've seen it. Seen it with my own eyes.
Exactly. This one actually started in Japan.
And this one is like extremely hard. You should see the stuff they have to do.
They've done this in Japan, and then it went worldwide. America had one for a while.
Yeah, they did. That's where I watched. And those guys, if they do it, they get some buco bucks.
Yeah, they do. And I played this game on my Kinect on Xbox 360. And that is hard. And I'm not even having walls come at me.
Because you have to like stand still. The funniest part in the last round, I think, you both have to go together. And it's usually the husband that muffs up. Because they just can't fit. Their wife just, wiggles on through it. And they just sit there like, it's coming. I can't tell which way I'm supposed to go. Then boom, they get knocked out by the wall. It's a pretty good show, though.
So, Wall of Boxes, starting in Japan, is true. On to our next game. Dead meat. Contestants have a piece of rope approximately 15 feet long tied behind their back with a piece of raw meat at the end. A wild animal is then let loose and chases them. The goal of this game is to outrun the wild animal for a set amount of time. If you fail, you could get maimed by the wild beast.
This is just pushing the limits too far, so I'm going to go with false.
You're going to go with false? That's not right. It's true.
Who in their right mind goes on a show with a wild animal running at them?
This is Japan. I didn't see what they won. I didn't see the time limit on it.
I don't care what country it's in. You were insane.
Exactly.
You're like, hey, tie me up, put a piece of raw meat on my head, and let the lion out.
It's on a rope dragging behind you. But do you want to know what they were chased by on the episode I watched?
What, a hyena?
They were chased by a Komodo dragon. Those things can move. Gosh. Holy crap.
That's one of the creepiest things possible.
I know. It was a little girl that was running. She's
a little girl?
Well, I don't think she's like a little girl. I think she was like 20s maybe. But she's like this tall. And she is booking it for all she's worth, and this Komodo dragon is right after her. It was one of the best shows I've watched.
Did they win like $1 million just for doing it?
I don't know.
Because they should have.
I don't know what you win, but it was sure entertaining.
It's not like you're risking an injury or a cut or a bruise. You're literally risking your life.
Exactly.
They don't want the piece of raw meat. They want you because you got more meat on you.
So, what is that? You are 2 for 4?
Yeah, I'm sucking it
2
up.
for 5. All right. We're on to our next game. Tuesday's Tour Guide, a Britain-based comedy game show where contestants are hired as new tour guides in a museum, art gallery, or some other place that has tour guides. You are given no instructions on how to perform your job prior to starting. The contestants wear an earpiece and are fed information on how to complete their job by a celebrity guest. The goal is to make it through an entire day of work without the people you are guiding believing you are a fake, or your coworkers complaining to your superior about your work.
This sounds like the Howie Mandel show that he has on TBS.
I've seen that. I don't remember what it's called, but
I can't remember
he
either.
does have one like this.
But it's like the same thing, except they're not a tour guide. They just have to make their friend do stupid stuff.
And in England. They have a lot of historical monuments in England.
But I feel like you might have got this from the Howie Mandel show, but twisted it to make it up.
Everything I get comes from other shows. Like, I get inspiration from everywhere.
So, See, but you're gonna get me again. It gets me every time. I always do what my gut says, and it's wrong.
I'm a very sneaky man.
True.
True? That is false. I made that one up, too.
Knew it!
I did.
Why didn't I just go with what I thought the first time?
I did make that one up right off of the Howie Mandel show, especially the celebrity guest thing.
See, because he does that on every episode. He has someone come in with the host to host the show.
Yep, so I made that one up. It'd be a good show, though.
Totally
I'd watch it. Our next game show is Interception.
Like football interception.
Interception. In this Russian game show, a contestant is selected to go on an actually go and carjack a car.
Wow.
They have 30 minutes to carjack a stranger and get away from the real-life cops chasing you. If you win, the car gets returned, and you get a new car, and you also receive a cash prize. If you lose by getting caught by the cops, you are actually arrested and will face jail time.
It sounds really believable, so I'm going to go with true.
You're correct.
Yes!
This is actually a game they play in Russia. I think it's like practice for the mob, like you pass.
And you're in.
But
you got the in.
Actually,
you can jack in the car.
When I was reading about it, there's only 2 people that have ever succeeded at this game.
2.
2 people.
How many have tried? Like 200?
I don't know what it said on how many tried, but they've got people arrested all to win a car or money.
I mean, I better be jacking a really nice car if I'm on that show.
All right, we're down to one last game.
Final one, bragging
rights. If you get this right, you win. Here we go. The One-Day Marine. This title is what the game consists of. Contestants submit an application to be on the show, where if picked, they are taken to a Marine base and have to complete all basic training exercises and 4 of 5 random trials picked out of a boot. If they win, they receive $20,000. If they lose, they must spend 2 weeks as a private in the Marines. This is done as a publicity stunt for the Marines and is streamable from usmarine.org.
Sounds like who would want to do that? You know, those guys are pretty brave.
It's like the American Ninja Warrior thing, though.
Yeah, but going to the Marines, that's over the top because, you know, these guys are taking their job serious. They're there to fight, and due to the gravity of you've already said 2 were false. I'm going to go with this as your 3rd false one.
It is. I actually made this one up. I was really hoping that you would say this one was true because I think it's a great idea.
I couldn't believe it.
I think it's a great idea for a game show to have someone go and actually be a Marine a day.
That's just wrong.
I think it'd be a good show.
People would be petrified for the rest of their lives.
They might be, but they
Knowing
could
what
win.
Those guys go through.
They could win $20,000 in this universe I've made. 4 out of the 8 correct.
I say I win.
So generously, you're gonna win this game of.
Let's just say I'm pretty smart.
Or well, you caught me on one of my made-up ones.
The other ones I will say were quite believable. The last one, not so much.
Exactly. I threw that one out there. Hopefully, you were going to get it.
No. So you were just fishing too much on that one. There's too much fishing going on that one. You got to step your game up.
I will. Next time. I'll get you.
That's all we have for you this week. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Thanks for watching our videos. You can also find us on Twitter at HoloTeam. We post a new video every single Saturday. Wise men